So, Professor Prajal Sakhardande with me. People of Goa are aware that time and again we have been raising issue of heritage, priceless heritage of particularly of old Goa. And in the last media address we had very clearly brought out that we are not just talking about UNESCO recognized monuments, but we are also talking about the entire precincts of the old Goa complex, which also includes the earlier history of Goa, particularly related to the Kadamba dynasty. It was explained by Professor Sakhardande that how important the Rajveer and particularly the fort wall is towards preservation of heritage, and what are the steps that need to be taken. And accordingly we had written a letter to the Director of State Archaeology also, bringing out all these aspects. So far nothing has been heard from there. But now what is very important is particularly related to the UNESCO. Once again we are coming back to the UNESCO recognized monuments, that is the churches and monuments of old Goa, churches and convents of old Goa. I will just recall that on 22nd of March of this year, people of old Goa and some other activists had noted that there was mass scale destruction of forests and there was excavation at this site using heavy earth moving machinery. Somehow on that day we managed to stop the felling of trees to some extent. Already some trees were felled, and we became very curious because there were artifacts that were found of extreme, what do you call that, antiquities, importance. So having found those artifacts, we realized that something is going wrong here. This was not the manner in which any site, archaeological site, had to be excavated, and the people exerting their pressure managed to stop the work. Now the people had stopped the work on that particular day, and it was followed by a meeting, a bigger gathering of people the next day, that is Sunday 23rd of March. Thereafter complaints have been lodged by various people before the ASI, before the police authorities, and we have been following it up. We have also written, Prajal and myself and some others have also written to the Secretary Ministry of Culture, which is the department, the administrative ministry of the ASI, Archaeological Survey of India. We have written to them time and again. So far we have not received any response. In the meanwhile, I had submitted an application under RTI just asking for some basic facts. This was filed on the 8th of April 2025. Now you will ask me, from 8th of April till now, why so much of a gap? I did not get this information which was asked on 8th of April, and I had to file under RTI a first appeal. You know that you have to file a first appeal under the RTI Act, and after having filed a first appeal, I got a reply to that on 24th of July, that is a few days ago, wherein they said that the CPIO, the Central Public Information Officer, has replied to you, and they have enclosed the reply to me, which I had never received earlier. And now it is very interesting for you to note what I had asked. I had said, copy of reports generated by ASI Goa Circle between 22nd March. Now that is a crucial date because that is the day the work had been stopped, and work had started before that. The work was being done by the GTDC. So we had asked for copy of reports generated from that day till date of application in respect of excavation of prohibited area. Now you have to understand, we have spoken about it, what is prohibited, what is regulated, what is protected at Old Goa. For the proposed Prasad scheme, by then we knew that this is under Prasad scheme. They said work is in progress. Work of compilation of reports was in progress as of 7th May, so it is not given. Second, copy of permission granted by ASI to the applicant tourism, which is undertaking that work. They told me to collect it yesterday. They told me to collect it yesterday. I have collected it. I will come to that. Copy of work stoppage order issued by ASI to the GTDC. So they said you can collect this also, which I have collected yesterday. Fourth, copy of permission to use heavy earth moving machinery at the site of work. No such permission was issued by this office. Fifth, number of artifacts such as cannonballs recovered from site where heavy earth moving machinery was used. They have answered that they have found 18 cannonballs and 1 stone slab. And lastly, because we had discussed about it, that this particular area where the work had started was somewhere in the vicinity of the earlier what was called arsenal, or local the Ribeira Grande. So we asked for a copy of information maintained in respect of arsenal. The answer was no such information has been compiled. Historical sources, literary sources in public domain, example books, research publications may be referred to. So they have put it back to us that they are not maintaining any kind of such studies about the area. Now, having said that, I'll come to the point number 2 and 3 of this reply. Point
about Old Goa, in particularly the road Rajbeet. Last time I had mentioned about the Rajbeet. That road, Royal Highway, which is connecting Gopakpattana, that is Goa Velya, with Ella, that is Old Goa. So 9-kilometer road is there, and that road, which is of laterite, built of laterite pavement, that is being violated by the builders. So builders are encroaching upon it from all the sides, and that particular road, so Kadamba Raja, Jaikeshi first, and Banillo, 11th century, it is still existing. पण जेन्ना ओल्ड गोवा पावता त्या रोडाचेर जायते एन्क्रोचमेंट, म्हणजे देर आर सो मेनी बिल्डर्स. जस्ट नाव आय लर्न ऑल्सो दॅट वन ऑफ द बिल्डर्स, आय विल नॉट नेम हिम, ही इज डिस्ट्रॉईंग द फोर्ट वॉल. अर्लियर ही हॅड फिल्ड द मोट, ते खंदक जे असता, ही हॅड फिल्ड दॅट पर्टिक्युलर थिंग विथ मड. सो नाव ही इज एट द फोर्ट वॉल. सो फोर्ट वॉल आसा, वयर मोट आसा, गोरक्ष मठ आसा, एन्शंट सायट ऑफ गोरक्ष मठ. Now that is also it is totally in ruins. So there are two old Goas, one old Goa which is below and one old Goa which is above. So वयली जी आसा ती कदंबा पिरियडाची ओल्ड गोवा आसा. सो ती कदंबा पिरियडाची ओल्ड गोवातले मेन इशू आसा तो राजबीत. राजबीत आमकां प्रोटेक्ट करपाक जाय. आनी अपार्ट फ्रॉम एल्विस बाबान ASI सांगला ते आय वूड ऑल्सो now this particular heritage which is of the Kadamba period, the Rajbeet, the magir te Goraksh Math, then Lotus Pond, Queen's Pond, then underground palace of Saundekar, all that should be looked after by the it should be notified by the Goa State Archaeology. But the Goa State Archaeology has not notified that old Goa which is existing on top of the hill. सो ते एला जे सगळे, इनफॅक्ट आम्ही RP 2021 ते आर्किओलॉजिकल पार्क म्हणून मार्क केल्ले. सो गोपकपट्टना, एला, मागीर चांदोर ते कांयच जालें ना. सो वॉट आय एम रिक्वेस्टिंग द गोवा स्टेट आर्किओलॉजी दॅट इफ दॅट इज not of national importance, they will say it is not of national importance, so we will not notify it. So we are requesting the Goa state archaeology that it is of state importance. Kadamba dynasty was ruling over Goa from 11th century to mid 14th century, 3.5 centuries. तांबडी सुर्लाचे देवळूय ताणें बांदिल्लें, बट दॅट इज ऑफ नॅशनल इम्पॉर्टन्स. तो ASIच्या अंडर आसा ते. सो गोरक्ष मठ कोण प्रिजर्व करतलो, माधव तीर्थ कोण प्रिजर्व करतलो, मागीर क्वीन्स पॉन्ड, टँक्स आसात, अंडरग्राउंड पॅलेस ऑफ सौंदेकार, राजबीत आसा, फोर्ट वॉल आसा, मोट आसा आनी फोर्ट आर्क आसा. हे सगळी जी वयर हेरिटेज आसा ती प्रिजर्व जावपाक जाय. म्हणून आमी रिपिटेडली प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स घेत आसा, आमी लेटरां बरयत आसा, but in vain, we are not getting any success. So I don't know what is the way out. So I request the Goa State Archaeology and the Archaeology Minister to notify this entire site. Otherwise it is totally vulnerable to development, and सगळे builders ते काबार करतले because they don't care for all whatever I am saying. So they will completely develop it and they will finish that entire heritage which is there on top of the hill. So this is through the press, all the time we are repeatedly asking the Goa State Archaeology, the ASI to look into this matter. This is about unnotified sites. Notified sites are also neglected, पण जो large number of unnotified आसा त्यो notify जर केल्यो, builders जे आसा land sharks, because all over now गोवाचे कितें जाला परिस्थिती की सगळे कडेन land sharks जाल्या. All those builders from Delhi, Bombay, they want to come to Goa and everybody wants to buy Goa. आता उरुना, already Goa is being sold. Every day Goa is being sold. Now while we are giving this press conference, I don't know how many applications must have been received by TCP department and already they are considered. Yotin DLF asa, yotin Loda, आणि ते दुसरे कोणते, I forget their names also, Bhutani. So they are all there. अशी सगळी नावां गोंयांत आसा and Goa is being sold totally. Land conversions, eco-sensitive zones are being converted into settlement zones, and this is going on everywhere. Greenery is being destroyed. So I don't know what. Repeatedly, we activists are always blowing the whistle that Goa should be saved, land conversion should be stopped. Just other day, media had brought out this news that Asgaonचे full hill कावार करतात. हे रेश मागोचे हिल कावार केले. आता आनी एक प्रोजेक्ट येवपाचो मिरामार. तो मिरामार प्रोजेक्ट जो येवपाचो व्हडलो प्रोजेक्ट, थंय सचदेव्स मेमोरियल आसा, कॅज्युअरिना ट्रीज आसा. Are they going to destroy Sachdev's memorial, which is governor's memorial? So every time when there is this, we are fighting. All the time we are talking, but the whole of Goa doesn't come with us. Okay, media is supporting us. Only because of the media, all these issues which we are highlighting are kept alive. Otherwise, there is no voice. We don't have any voice. Our voice is through the media. So that is why we are appealing to the media to highlight these issues, because Goa, सगळ्याकडे हिल, Asgaon is become colony of the Delhi people. Moira, Aldona, सगळ्याकडे Delhi colony आसा. So everywhere it is being destroyed, land is being converted, and North Goa is already sold. South Goa also they are trying. South Goa tari मातशें उरला, so that also they are trying to sell. And Old Goa is, although a World Heritage Site, on 1 kilometer nothing should come up, still it is being violated. So this
I
is
will
the
just
situation.
add one.